Hello. I think I'm live now, but if I can get any confirmation in the chat, can someone just make sure that I am actually going live right now? Hello. Okay, great. So, I think I'm live now, but if I can get any confirmation in the chat, can someone just make sure that I am actually going live right now? Okay, so it's 1:07. Sorry for the delay. We'll be starting our live in 30 seconds. I'm Juanita, and I will be hosting this event. The idea for us today is basically that you learn a little bit of how do we solve issues, and how we open up a request solving a bug in the issue tracker of Spyder. And someone is texting me that we're having technical difficulties. Let me see. Okay, I just killed my audio from a live stream. So, okay, great. So yeah, I was saying that today we're going to be teaching you how we solve issues in the issue tracker. And for today, we have a developer from Spyder team. Her name is Stephanie, and I'm going to put her on camera right now. Stephanie. Okay, so this is Stephanie. She's going to introduce herself, and then we're going to start.
So as Juanita already told you, I am one of the core developers of the Spyder team. I've been working for more than 1.5 years now, so I'm happy to teach you how to solve and contribute to our project.
Great, thank you, Stephanie. It's really good to have you here. So the first thing we're going to do is teach you how you set your contributing environment. So she's going to teach you how to do a fork, how to clone the repo, and then just how to set up your environment, downloading everything that you have to download. So I think you can share your screen now if you need to.
Can you see my screen now?
Yes, I think it looks fine.
Okay. So what we first are going to do is to find the Spyder project on GitHub. So for that, you can either go to github.com and in the search bar, just type in Spyder. I have it like right there because I work in that. So that's like a easy shortcut, but the first like result that you get, that will be the one that you want to see. So for the ones that have never like seen the project on GitHub before, so this is basically all the code and all the things that we work on. So if you want to contribute, then we have a super useful guide that's under contributing. So we're going to click there. And in here, you will have a series of steps that will help you to just build all your environment to contribute to the project. Also, it will give you like guidelines and like a lot of troubleshooting if you're having a lot of problems. I'm going to do this right now so you can see how we do this. So we're going to follow up the guide. So the first things that we have is that we're going to fork and clone this repository. So this is really important because like different projects work, I know some projects work on branches and others work through forks. So Spyder works through forks. So that's really important for you to know because that's like the standard way we do the things. So for doing that, you will have to go to this, like the upper corner in the right, to just go ahead and fork it. I cannot do that like right now because I already have a fork of Spyder, but in here it will ask you to which account do you want to do the fork. You will click that, and then a fork will be done. And that will be like, once you get that, you will have something like, let me look up mine so I can. Basically, this is like a personal copy of the repository in the moment you fork it. And like, this is mine. So as you can see, it is like the exact same repository, but what we can do here is that you can manage yourself your own branches and then decide which branches you want to go ahead and pull requests on the like real repository. So we already done that. And what's important is that we're going to clone that fork that we done, that we did, sorry. So we like, please, this is like a super, like, I don't know, like normal mistake. I did it once. When you just try to clone this repository, work on this one, and then when you are going to do the pull request, you will not be able to. So be sure that you are not cloning the Spyder ID/Spyder repo, but either you're cloning your username /Spyder repo. So I already have it as well. So what you can do is normal steps of Git. So you just copy this URL. You will go to your part of the computer that you want to clone it, and you just go ahead and you will, sorry, I forgot the clone. You will type in git clone that rip. I already have it, so I'm not going to hit enter. It will have an error there because I already have it, but that's the first step you need. So once you have, so I'm going to go ahead to Spyder, and once you have your own clone of your own fork in your computer, we will go ahead to form or developing, I mean, like, or developing like ambience. So let's go to the contributing guide. So once we fork and clone the repo, we're going to create our environment using Conda. We recommend like highly to use Conda because it is easier to manage packages, as well as Qt, like Qt has binary dependencies. So if you try to do it with pip, it will you will be more prone to have more errors than after that. So we're going to follow the guide and use Conda. We really like Conda. For that, please be sure that you already have Conda on your computer. If not, we can let links to the like official guide of how to download Conda. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to create an environment that's on Python 3, because right now we are working towards not supporting anymore on code the Python 2 distribution. So I'm going to call this environment Spyder example. So we're just going to go ahead and create that environment. This will take a while.
Okay, I guess while you create your environment, maybe you can tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. This was not as as slow as I thought it will be. So yeah. So in here, I already create the environment. So now we're going to activate it. So we're just going to type in Conda, activate the name I just put to the environment. That in my case is Spyder-example. So right now, like I know I changed my environment in Conda because right now it's not telling me that I'm in base, but that I'm in Spyder-example. So now that we have our new, like brand new environment, what we're going to do is to install all the dependencies that Spyder has. So we will just go ahead and copy this full link. And yeah, I'm under the Spyder. And I will go ahead and type that. And this will take a while because we have a lot of dependencies. As you can see, it is going to sell a lot of things. So, yeah. So answering Juanita, I am a biomedical engineer, and I'm also a software engineer from La Universidad de los Andes here in Bogota. I entered the project because our lead maintainer also is like doing his doctorate on the same university. So I got the chance to meet him, and he was like needing more people that were software engineers to help in the project. So that's how I started. I started like with really, really small issues. And that was really fun because, you know, like the first things you want to do when you are trying to contribute to a project is not to do something that's super huge, but either you need to, you know, like learn a lot of things of how it is structured and how you can help that, like doing small things like changing a button or even changing colors or small things like that, that you may think that are like small contributions, but really they add a lot of value to the project. So that was really nice. So, okay, now we have our environment ready. As you can see, I didn't get any error, so that looks fine. And now we are going to learn how to run Spyder as a developer, because like normally when you have your Spyder, you can either type in here like Spyder and that will run and open the program, or you can either have it as an application as well. So we like, as we are modifying the code, we need to run it from its like main function. So we are going to run it with this instruction, that's Python bootstrap. So we are going to do that. We will wait, it starts to load. And now we have it. Like this is this Spyder that has the code that we are working on. So basically it looks the same, but this is where like we are able to modify the code. We run this command, and then we will be able to see our changes like that we made on the code in the Spyder as it is. So yeah, I don't know if there's like some raised questions on the chat. So
there is actually. So there's I think Tony, yes, he was asking, as project maintainers, how do you all manage different environments for different users? Do you just need one environment? So maybe you can answer the question first, and I can go after that.
Okay. I try to have a separate environment for like each project that I'm working on. So for example, for Spyder, I only have one environment for that one. So like what I have to do is that each time we are bumping our versions in the requirements, I need to bump as well my environment. But yeah, like we are not making that like so many changes on the requirements that we need to have multiple like environments per version of Spyder, which is nice. So yeah, I like the only moments where I need to create a new environment for Spyder are when like there's some issues of people that are trying to run Spyder and they get some errors, but in certain like pin versions of some dependencies. So yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's pretty much the same for me. I create environments every time I need to, for example, test something that requires a specific dependency. And basically, one of the reasons why I use so many environments, it's because sometimes I need to install packages that are not available in Conda. So I create one environment for Conda Forge, another for pip. So it's just basically for not mixing packages. But I basically do work in different environments every single time for any different project that I'm working on. So I just make sure to not mess up my own environment. Okay, so we'll be answering any questions that you have on the chat. So if you want to ask it, go ahead and I'll try to keep up with them. But right now that we have already set up our working environment, I guess it's time for us to look at the issues that we're going to resolve.
Yeah.
So Stephanie is going to show you how we go to the issue tracker, pick an issue, and basically start working on it.
Yeah. So basically, here in the top of issues are like all the concerns and all the bugs that people report to us, and that we, like as maintainers, what we do is once per day, we have to review all of these messages to see which ones are like important ones. There's a lot of like installation errors, so we also try to fix that for the user, or even we have a lot of requests of new features. So in that way, we can also set how we want our new Spyder, like the new version of Spyder, to have. Because if a lot of users are like asking for something, we will like take into account that to our next release. So as we don't have a lot of time, we are going to, and we're trying to, get new people interested in collaborating to Spyder. We're going to try to solve one of the easy issues. So here, if you put in labels, there's one label that's called Community Easy, that basically are the like all the issues that when we do the triage of the issues, we say that's not that hard, and that's something that people that are new to the project can help us do. So as you can see right now, we have 19 open. So we're just going to go ahead and like write one and like to choose one. So for example, last week we were doing our sprint on the SciPy for Spyder, and it was really nice because we have a couple of guys that entered and tried to fix some of these issues. Okay, so I am reading to see which one we want to work on today. So So I think we're going to go with this one. So this is like how a normal issue like sees. So like people put in the head, like in the title, what's like very punctual, what's wrong, and what's like everything about. So in here we know that the go to line dialog finds an internal problem. So he tells us that if we do the go to line dialog, that can be opened with Ctrl+L shortcut, and we type the plus sign, then we will find this error. So what first we're going to try to do is to reproduce this issue in my Spyder environment. So I will just go ahead, open Spyder with Python Bootstrap, wait for it to load.
Okay, while it loads quickly, there's one question from the chat that I really want you to answer because I think that's important. Someone is asking, when the repository is cloned, should the work be done on the master branch or the 4.x branch?
Oh, that's a really important question. So right now, these fixes should go to the 4.x branch. So I will talk about that in a minute. That's really important. Like for I try to not like work on my master branch because I am constantly updating with the like master branch of the project. So I don't want to have inconsistencies between the two. So I will highly recommend, like even if you are going to try to do your pull request either to 4x or to master, that I will talk about that in a bit. I try to like always work on a new branch. So we will see that in a minute. So coming back to the issue, so here they say that they go to line dialog and type the plus sign. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So Control L, and we're going to type the plus. and I cannot type the plus. Let me check something. I don't know if I'm working. So
Okay,
I'm going
so
to look on
while you fix that, I can go ahead and do some clarifications on the branches thing and maybe answer some more questions. Okay, so if you're gonna do, okay, so right now this is how we work. The branch for X is actually for our 4.x releases. So if you're gonna like have some 4.1.4 or 4.2, that is the one that we're currently developing, they are all for the branch 4.x. But if we want to work on, for example, Spyder 5, that would be our big release, then we can go to the master branch. So I saw Carlos was answering there that if the issue is quite simple, then it's for 4.x. That's because yeah, it shouldn't involve many changes, because the big changes go for like really big releases. In this case, Spyder 5. So for now, I think if you want to try to solve an issue on a repo, I guess it will go to the branch 4.x. Okay, I saw you reproduce the error, so
yeah.
let's see.
Yeah, so basically, once I like hit, I had the error, the issue reporter that I don't know if some of you have seen comes up. So basically, this is like a quick way for users to open GitHub issues if you like fill out this form. But let me close this thing. So, but for us, we don't want to open an issue. We want to see what was the problem that Spyder had. So if you hit in show details, then it will let you see in which file the error and in which line of the code you had the error. So if you go ahead and hit this link on Spyder, you will be able to open the file in that line. So as we can see, we're having a value error under the code editor in the function where the text has changed and is in this line. And as we can see, I typed a plus sign that's not like a number or an integer. So once we try to cast that into an integer, it will like have an error. So we're going to go ahead and try to fix that by, so wait a minute. Oh, Juanita already talked to you about how to, what's the difference of 4x and master. So this issue, we're going to go ahead and do it against 4x. So for that, what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and check out 4x. That's our branch with the stable 4 version of Spyder. And we're going to create a new branch that will be like from that branch. So I'm going to go ahead and call it like fix go to line. And now I will be able to just start modifying all my changes, and then I can push them to my fork. So even though I work for Spyder and I almost every day, I don't use Spyder for developing Spyder because it is sometimes really hard to know which version of what you're using is the one that's going to be edited and what's the one who is having the error. So I prefer to use VS Code, but you can like use whichever IDE you like. You can also use Spyder for developing Spyder, but that will need a different setup because you will need to have the stable like branch installed, so you can open Spyder with the Spyder command, and then you will need to have the Python bootstrap. That's the one that you're modifying. So I really get really messed up doing that. So So what we're going to do is to open the Spyder project on our IDE, like our favorite IDE. So in here, I have it. So I forgot which line was the error, so I'm going to go ahead and reproduce it again.
So everything that Stephanie was saying right now, it's also in our GitHub workflow guide. I'm gonna be sending the link right now in the YouTube like chat, but everything that she's explaining right now is also in one of our contributing guides, but it's just a different one. It's called the GitHub workflow guide.
Thank you, Anita. Yeah, so as we can see, we know that the error is under Spyder plugins editor widgets code editor. So I'm going to see if I can learn that. Spyder plugins editor, and that's under widgets. Yep, code editor. And that's happening on the line 174. So we're going to go ahead and go to this line. So what I'm going to try to do first is to just put a try except here. So it will catch us the error that we're having to see if that's enough to like solve this error that we're having. So in case that this will like raise an error, we will put this value to none. And I only did that because like it seems logical, because we had an if the text that we are changing like exists, we will assign a value, but if not, it will be none. So I will put that to none. And I will save my file, and I will go ahead and restart Spyder. So I'm back. I'm going to do again what. Okay, so as you can see, the error is now different. So we move on of error, which is really nice. Now we're having an error in Spyder/plugins editor utils and the editor.py. So we're going to go ahead and see what's happening there. So where was it? Editor utils. Editor utils and the editor, and it is in line 198. So we're right here. So as you can see, the this line, we are like this self.line number can be none, and that's something that we are not like taking into account here, because like probably this line is none, but for being sure, we're going to try to do a print. So that is super useful, because sometimes you don't know like what's happening under Spyder, especially because it is a huge project. So, and at first it's like weird to know how things are connected. So we're just going to go ahead and print who is the line. So this is like a really important question, and is if I do this print, like where can I see it? So the answer is that here, let me restart Spyder, and I shall show you a really useful pane for us as developers in Spyder. So if you go in here in the internal console, where you have like a super huge disclaimer that this is like really sensitive, we use it because in here is where we are having the prints, or like we can get the state of a lot of things that are running on Spyder. So in here is where you will be seeing your prints. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. And as you can see, the same traceback I'm having here is shown in here. But what is important is this none. So what we know from that is that this line is getting through here as a none. And when we try to do like the minimum between none and something, it will break. So what we can do here is we can just go ahead and do another try. So we will try to get the line as this, but if we get this type error, then our line, I will just put it not like the minimum between like those two, but I will just put it as the other option because the line is none. So we're going to remove this print and we'll see if this works. So I'm going to go ahead and reset Spyder again. So, okay, now we are not having any error, and like we apparently are like towards something that's more useful than the error we were having before. But as you can see, there's something super weird because if like this line edit, it's letting me to like put a plus sign in there, and that's something I don't want to, because like I will like to restrict like my users to don't make mistakes. So I will just like them to like put numbers in this box. So I'm going first to try to see if other symbol and like I can insert some other symbols. So I'm pressing like minus or backslash or other symbols that are not numbers, even letters, and I'm not able to write them, but I'm not sure why the plus sign I can do it. Let's see what happens if I put like +3. Okay, it works, which is super weird. So basically, I will not like the user to be able to put this plus sign, right? So what we're going to do.
I'm gonna interrupt you just 3 seconds.
Sure.
Can you? Someone is asking, well, is saying that they're having trouble saying. So they suggested doing light mode for Spyder, but I think a better idea will be, well, first in your editor, can you increase a little bit the size of the font?
In here?
In your editor, in VS Code.
Okay. Like that?
Yes. And then for Spyder, they are suggesting light mode. So if you can change the light mode to like show exactly the screen that you're showing for the go-to line, yeah, the dialogue. So maybe that would.
If I can, yes.
Yeah, you have to restart it. So
yeah, let me restart Spyder. Yeah, sorry, my screen sometimes is a little bit big when I share screen.
Just change the settings to light mode, I guess, because I mean, you cannot increase the size of the dialogue, but that's basically the only thing that we're using right now. So
that option in which part is it?
Appearance. There you go.
So
and then an interface theme. Oh wait, yes, light, I guess.
Okay. That will force me to restart Spyder.
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
We need to change the highlighting theme too.
I think yeah, I think we just found another another bug. Oh yeah, I need to change these too. I'm going to put
Okay. While you do that, I'm gonna go ahead and answer one of the questions in the chat. So there was, I think Tony was asking, how do we do to like keep up as a team? He was asking about meetings. There's a like the development team right now. is based in Colombia, so it's 6 of us, and we have also a volunteer team that's working with us. So we have meetings basically twice a week, and in those meetings we share all the like advances we have done in the week, and we basically plan our work for the next weeks. And we have chat between like the whole members of a team. So if there's like one important update, then we just post it right away in the chat. But I think our main means of communication usually, apart from the meetings, is GitHub basically. So if there's one person in an issue, like working in an issue, and they need like someone else's opinion or help, then we basically kind of tag someone in the issue. We said like ping in the issue, but it's just basically tagging a person in the issue tracker, or in whatever pull request we're working on. And that's basically our main means of communication, I would say. But yes, we do have meetings, and we do kind of have plans that we do each week for a workflow. Okay, so go ahead.
Now it is better.
Yes, I think it's better.
Okay, I don't know why these dialogues are not increasing their size.
Maybe that would be a thing to fix too.
Yeah, I think that's something that we need to add to Spyder as well. Yeah, so yeah, because okay, this is doing something weird as well. Yeah, we need to open an issue for this one. So can you see there, or I don't know what else to do?
I think that should be fine. I mean, the only thing with showing for Spyder is the dialogue. So hopefully the lightning makes it better.
Yeah, okay. So basically what I was saying is that we shouldn't like be letting the users to put like this plus sign in there. And it is kind of funny because you cannot type like any other like letter or even symbol in there, just the plus. That's super weird. So we're going to go ahead and search like which this dialogue, where is it located in Spyder. So let me shrink this a little. Okay. So I really like to find like the dialogues by the name they have. I'm sorry, I opened the wrong one. So basically this says go to line. So I'm going to go ahead and search go to line with the dots, and we will see that that will like let us there almost all the time. There's some like I have encountered some dialogues that it's harder to find them, but this is like my little hack of how to find dialogues in Spyder, because we have a lot. So basically what we are having here is that we're having a label that has a line edit that's of a queue line edit. And we have that it has a queuing validator. So this is all like classes from Qt. If you need to know what are those like these things, you can go ahead to all the documentation of Qt. So in this case, I'm searching for the queuing validator class. So basically, as we can see, like, okay, that's too much. So basically we have that this class provides a validator that ensures a string contains a valid integer with a specified range. But apparently, I don't know why the queuing validator is not grabbing the plus as a number, and not like, not as a symbol, but as a number. So we are going to go ahead and see what else we are doing here. We have the queuing validator, and it has the range from 1 to the line count of the editor. And in here is it is like each time I type something in line edit, it will connect to the text has changed. That was the method that we were working before. So we are going to see what else we can do. So, okay, this is another thing that may be causing problems. So we see that that line edit, it's also connecting.
I'm going to
Okay.
interrupt you again. Sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Can you change the VS Code theme also to a lighter one? Because I was actually checking the YouTube streaming page, and it's actually a little bit hard to read because of the dark mode.
Okay.
So you change that mode to, maybe it'll be clearer, so that we can actually, because I think they're not actually reading what you're typing. So
yeah, okay. Okay, I will put like light. Oh, okay. Well, this is super light.
I think it's much better. Yeah, I think it's much better.
Okay.
I'll be aware of any comments regarding that if you have more, but
please,
I'm letting you know that there's a little bit of delay, so I get your comments like really late.
Yeah, if you want, you can wait a little bit so it can change on the live stream, so you can tell us if that's like this is working better or not.
I think they are saying that it looks fine. Carlos is telling me that it looks fine now, so okay. I think you can continue.
Okay. So what we were saying is that this line edit is like each time the text change, it is connected to the method that we already like kind of fixed. And we also have that each time we change our text, it is saying if we can enable our text or not. Like, if the OK button that's on the side of it is going to be enabled or not. So, so what we will be trying to do first is to try to clear the line edit if we don't have any integers. So in here, as you can see that the self.line edit, it's like something of the class, so we can call it right here in the method. So I'm going to right here self.line edit dot clear, sorry. So in this, like what we expect for the for this is to Qt to clear the dialog if there's a value error in there. So we will go ahead to Spyder and restart it to see if that fixes the problem. Okay. So, okay. Now, as I just type in the plus sign, but it is not like it is not showing anything in the line edit and like in this line edit, but we are having the OK button like yeah, like it is like you can click it and you shouldn't be able to click it because like yeah, and like in theory you are not writing anything in there. So I'm going to close Spyder and I'm going to just go ahead and see that in here we are connecting the OK button, if it is enabled or not, to the line edit text change. So what I'm going to try to do is to extend this condition. So we will also try to see if that's a plus sign. I don't like to do like really long lines or really like complex things. So what we're going to try to do is to create a new function right here. So we are just going to call it like, I don't know, like validate text. And that will be entering a text. And we will put a docstring to that. So we will just say that it will validate the text. Yeah, I don't know what else to write there. So validate the text. And in here, we are going to return that it returns if the line text is 0 and if the text is different from our plus sign. And I'm going to call that in here. So validate text with our text. And yeah, and we're going to try this to see if the OK button behaves as we want to.
Can you try the go to line dialog functionality in a longer file so we can actually show users what it does? Because in a really short file, it's not really like possible to see what it does. But it's if you have a really long file,
Yeah,
basically you can just show one of Spyder would work.
Yeah, I will open like the editor or
Yes.
the, yeah, or the code editor. Those files are huge. That's under. Okay, so as you can see, this file has like I even cannot see like the small scroll bar. The scroll bar is so small. So what we're going to do here right now is to try. Right now I'm on line 97, so I don't know. I want to go to. Oh, I'm having an error in something that I did, but.
You broke something now.
I broke something. Oh, of course. Yeah, I know what was my error right now. As you can see, I just called it like validate text, and even like flakate and pylint is telling me like that doesn't exist. I forgot the self.
Yes.
And as we like pepate and oh no, we can do this. We can format this like this, so it will not overpass the 80 characters of pep8. So, okay, yeah, that was my error. Let us open Spyder once more. Okay, so now we're going to try to go to line. Okay, I am having another error. And I just lost the, oh, today I forgot the self of the class and and I forgot, yeah, how to define a function inside a class. That's like I normally, sometimes there's some days that I just put the self even like inside the methods, like when I'm calling them. So I will try to do something like this. And
Yep.
then I will be like half an hour trying to see which is my error there. So, and I will be super mad because I was like, why? But I'm only sending one thing. But yeah, that's super normal in me.
Yeah, it happens to all of us. I mean, I kind of make a lot of mistakes, and it's really useful to have this error dialog that kind of shows you where the error is at, because you
Yeah.
can go ahead and actually see what you're messing up in.
Yeah, and I don't know, I guess that even like as you can have as much experience as you like, but you will still be doing those same errors. So yeah, that's normal. So I will go to try. Okay, now nothing's broken. I will try to go to line 1000 to see. Okay, so as you can see now, I'm on that number of line, and if I try to go to the first line, then it will like go on to the first one. And now it is the important part of the issue. That's if we type the plus sign, nothing will happen. And yeah, as you can see,
Yay!
I'm trying to
Fixed
type the
it.
plus sign. Yeah. So we managed to solve the issue, and apparently nothing else is broken. So
Okay, so now that we've solved the issue, I guess our next step is basically opening a pull request in the Spyder repo. So Stephanie is going to show you how to do that. And yeah, basically she already created a branch. So she just going to show you how to like commit the changes for this new fix that she did.
Yeah. So basically, if I go ahead and do git status, I will get all the modified files that I changed during like while I'm trying to fix the issue. And I always like to double check the git diff, because sometimes I do a lot of prints and you don't want to include those prints on the pull request. So with this like thing, you can see which lines you deleted, which ones you added, and you can just go through it and check that you're not like adding more prints that you may need like in sometimes. So I'm going to go ahead and check it. So as you can see, we had to do like really small changes in Spyder. So as I don't have any like extra prints or something weird, I can go ahead and do git A. So it will carry all my changes in it. I will do a meaningful commit, which I'm terrible to putting names and commits. Like I, yeah, I don't know.
It takes a while.
Yeah, it takes like, sometimes I will be like 10 minutes there. Like, okay, I need like a meaningful commit to tell the things that I've done. So this one, I will just put it like fix go to line with plus symbol. So that sounds like meaningful. And we will go ahead and commit that. And then I always try to put like git push, and then I will find like this.
I do the same thing because I never remember.
Yeah, I never
all my pull
remember. And
commands.
like, yeah, basically what this is saying is that in upstream, you don't have that same like branch. So you need to do all that command to, like have it there. So yeah, I just copy and paste that and enter.
So basically what you would want to do is create this local branch that you have in your computer in the remote like fork that you created. So this command, what it's just doing, it's basically creating this new branch in the remote with the changes that you made.
Yeah, so I already pushed my changes. So if I go ahead in here, I like to have the issue in one tab, because then like we need like at least we need this number when we are going to do our pull request, so I don't lose it. And I will go ahead. So what's important in here is that if you go to the Spyder IDE/Spyder, you will have like this small dialog that says like, oh, you did a push on your fork in this branch. So maybe you want to go ahead and do a pull request. So I always like this functionality because it's super useful. I just do compare and pull request. And in here, it will ask you like you want your changes to go where. So as we were discussing before, this is a small change, and it doesn't represent like a huge change that may only be needed in the next release of Spyder. So we're going to go ahead and do this against the 4x branch. And I always like to put like PR, the name. And if you like really had like a good and meaningful commit, then you will have a really good title here as well, because it will put the same commit into the title of the pull request. So in here, as I am a core developer, I have a lot of options here of who, if I want to assign this to someone, the labels, reviewers. Normally, you will only have like this create pull request, and that will be it. So I'm just going to do that. So we have a small like form that we like to fill out. So we wrote at least one line of doc strings for a new function. we didn't add any unit test. That may be like another step that that probably our reviewer will ask us to do. But in this case, we're going to try to not do a test. And we're going to, we can include a GIF or a screenshot of the thing that we just fixed. So we're going to explain what we've done. So we will tell here like add a method that checks the text and prevents the user from typing um, a plus sign or plus symbol. I think it's better. And in here, you need your issue number. So that's why I never like abandon this tab. So we will say that this is fixing that number of issue that now it is super large. And I will go ahead and type my username because I certified about the statement where I affirm like that I will treat with respect and I understand that all my code will go under the MIT license. And in here, if you want to double check, I sometimes do because I normally tend to do a lot of prints. So I will check this div again to see if there's something weird. If you said okay, like in this case, then we will just go ahead and create pull request.
Okay. Oh, wow. That sounds awesome. I'm going to go ahead and answer one more question. So I think Christian Arteaga was asking where the tests run. So basically, the tests, after we do any commit or pull request, the tests, basically we have some tests written like in the code that verify that everything is like working properly, and they just run in the cloud in GitHub Actions every time we do a new commit. And one thing that I want to like be super clear about is she just did a pull request in the 4x branch. And the reason why she didn't have any like conflicts or anything, it's because the first thing that she did after she created the repo was checking into these 4x branch before creating the branch that she was going to work on. This means that every change that 4x branch has, she had them in her local like environment before committing the changes. So is there anything else you want to say about the pull request?
Yeah, so basically each time you run the pull request, then we have a lot of tests that will be run through the continuous integration machine. And if you encounter that you have like this takes a long time to run because we have a lot, so you will have to go for a coffee, sit back, relax, be happy because you already solved an issue. And then you will see that sometimes you will break something else, like so you will have an error or something in a couple or maybe only one of these machines. So you can go ahead and just see which test you break to see if that was like something in your code that needs to be fixed, or maybe like sometimes it is like errors like from nowhere, like everything's working fine and an error just appears. But for that, like we will give you guidance to it, especially our lead maintainer Carlos. He will like give you a lot of like clear steps on how to like fix and review your pull request so it can be like merged into the like the 4x or the master branch. So yeah.
Great. Well, I think this has been fun. Thank you for joining us today. I have a challenge for you. So if you can stop sharing your screen, I can go ahead and share mine. Sure. And I'll show you the challenge that we have for today. So now that Stephanie just showed you how to solve an issue on Spyder's repo, we want you to try to do the same thing. So basically, if we're here in the Spyder's repo, you can go to issues. And what she did was basically filtering the issues here, community easy. So we have tagged some of these issues that we have in our repo as community easy. This means that they're good issues for starting, for people that have never contributed before. So here's a challenge for you. Go ahead and try any of these issues, maybe not the one that she just solved, because that's already fixed. So we will have to merge the fix in a couple of hours or days when some reviewer gives a test to it. But you can try to solve any, you can try and solve any of these issues. So that's our challenge for you today. And we'll try to continue doing this Spydercasts more frequently. There's a suggestion, a really good suggestion for our next Spydercast, which is how to run tests and how to write them. So maybe for our next Spydercast, we can do showing people how to create and run tests for this, for the code that we create. And I guess that's it. We had a total of between 10 and 12 viewers in our YouTube channel, but this Spydercast will be available, so you can basically watch it whenever you want. And go ahead and submit your pull request to our repo and try to solve issues. We'll be happy to review them and to help you if you have any problems. And there's a bunch of tutorials of Spyder in our YouTube channel, so if you subscribe and follow us, we will be posting a bunch of tutorials so you can actually learn how to use Spyder in case you're not interested in solving issues but using Spyder. And I guess that'll be it for today. Thank you, Stephanie, for showing us how to solve an issue. I hope that was interesting for you. And if you have any ideas on our next Spydercasts or any questions or anything, you can just post here in the chat or in all social media channels. And I guess that's it. So happy Spydering, and I guess we'll see you in our next Spydercast. Okay.